As tongue-in-cheek as the title is, this is a serious video. One that I think is extremely needed and necessary. I want to talk about mental health in football. For some reason, footballers are viewed without even a hint of empathy at times, and that needs to stop. Disclaimer, I am strictly talking about abuse and bullying, not constructive criticism. Constructive criticism, even if harsh, is needed. The difference is very easy to fathom to most, I would say, but I thought I'd still need to clarify. Anyway, the weird thing is, since mental health awareness is at an all time peak, more than ever, mental health is seen as a serious topic, and the stigma that was around it for men specifically is certainly on the down low. Yet, for some reason, football fans seem to completely not care about a footballer's mental health unless it is something of the utmost seriousness. And I have come up with three reasons to why this dichotomy exists. I just want to start off by saying I think suppressed rage, which comes from unresolved feelings, is the core element for all three reasons that lead to footballers getting abused. Suppressing your feelings is something many men and boys do, and it's not a coincidence that it's the exact largest demographic that watches football. I say this because someone that is emotionally on edge, someone that is not emotionally on edge, excuse me, will not resort to abusing footballers for not performing, but rather they would opt to take a more rational and calm approach. Of course, they will be angry, but they would not be so angry to the extent of having to express their anger in such a way. Some people actually DM certain footballers abuse just to get it off their chests. That is a level of rage that is simply ridiculous and should be eliminated completely from our game. Okay, after establishing that suppressed rage is the core to all of this, it is what feeds into the three reasons that I'm going to talk about right now. Let's actually discuss these reasons. My first reason is big old ignorance. While mental health has been getting a lot of respect from most people of late, there's always going to be those 50 plus year olds who think that football has gone soft and they think that footballers just man up and deal with abuse like real men, as if that ever worked well for previous footballers. That sector is very ignorant, but on the other spectrum of ignorance, there are the 16, 17-year olds on Twitter that think that being edgy is the epitome of coolness. These 16-year-olds will probably grow out of it, leaving us with the 50 plus year olds that need to be educated properly in order to abolish abuse from our game. The second reason is envy. This group uses suppressed rage differently. They think that because footballers are privileged, which they are, then what is some abuse to them? They'll just go home and in their expensive cars and cry about it in their extravagant houses. Big whoop. They envy footballers to the extent that they think that giving them abuse over every single wrong decision they make is going to make them feel better about themselves. And that is just very ignorant and ridiculous, to be fair, because what is being privileged going to do to you when you are mentally not doing well? Just because someone is well off, that does not mean that sadness and other negative emotions don't affect them. This group will always come up with things like, I'm sad and broke, but he is sad and living in a mansion, so he's probably coping better than I am. And that is ridiculous. If someone is suffering mentally, it really does not matter. And the amount of depressed celebrities, not just footballers, should be a minor indication of that, of the fact that being well off really does not does not guarantee being happy and not suffering mentally. The final reason I believe people abuse footballers is rather simple but complex simultaneously. It is because I believe that for football fans, they do not see footballers as real people. They see them as tools for their entertainment. They see them as just random entities playing football on TV, maybe in other countries as well. In the case of international fans, this is even greater of a feeling. And they simply forget that this is real life and these are real people, not just tools for your entertainment. And as a international fan myself, I've seen it happen with many, and perhaps even felt it at the time. You are so far away and disconnected from the actual events taking place that you forget that these are actual people playing football. With that in mind, it makes the step of going on social media to abuse a footballer so much easier, as you do not consider him as a person who might read this and actually get hurt because you're so disconnected, and it is a bit of it is a bit of an illusion in a way. You get disillusioned with the fact that you forget that this is reality and this actually is happening and this is someone's real life, and that the words you say and the abuse that you are going to give them does actually count for something and not just words on a screen.